It's no secret that AEW is not the hot commodity it once was. Looking back, it's hard to believe just how far and fast the company's momentum has come crashing down. For true fans of professional wrestling, it's been a sad thing to witness. All we really want is a variety of good wrestling from both AEW and WWE. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we'll ever see both companies thriving at the same time, not until Tony Khan and AEW get their act together. While Tony Khan continues to drop the ball and fumble his way into new TV deals, WWE is coming off its second consecutive record-breaking year and is about to debut on the largest media platform in the world. When AEW launched Dynamite on TNT, the pandemic was just beginning. Despite this, AEW thrived with what was arguably its smallest roster and backstage team it's ever had. The storylines made sense, the roster felt consistent, and the show introduced fresh characters with actual story progression. New stars were being made. Coming out of the pandemic, AEW began touring regularly for the first time. During this period, their momentum was undeniable. Both TV ratings and show attendance were strong. I remember watching every week and being amazed at the electric crowd energy. A stark contrast to WWE's lackluster atmosphere at the time. It felt like a celebration of professional wrestling. But then the cracks started to show, and the foundation of AEW began to crumble. For me, the first major turning point was Tony Khan's purchase of Ring of Honor. On the March 2nd, 2022 episode of Dynamite, Tony announced that he had bought ROH.
You can imagine I'm very excited because today I signed a deal. I just became the new owner of Ring of Honor.
This was the beginning of a bloated roster and a flood of championships that diluted AEW's product. ROH had no TV deal for over a year, which meant its storylines played out on AEW programming. Instead of keeping the two companies separate, Tony chose to blend rosters and titles, which muddled the identity of both brands. Days after announcing his purchase of ROH, Khan claimed he intended for ROH to be AEW's developmental brand and eventually run separately. But as of now, almost 3 years later, ROH is still clinging to AEW's event tapings. Stars like Athena, who's been one of the most consistent performers as ROH Women's Champion, have been stuck in limbo. She barely appears on Dynamite, even though fans have been behind her for years. If anyone deserved a proper AEW spotlight, it's her. But instead you got whatever the flavor of the month was for Tony. Tony's focus didn't stop there. He doubled down on collaborations with New Japan Pro Wrestling and CMLL, bringing in outside talent and adding even more championships to the mix. AEW went from having a clear vision of its stars to a bloated mess where no one and no title felt special. Despite signing major stars like Edge and Mercedes Moné, none of them have truly been game changers for the company. CM Punk was the exception. His arrival brought a ratings boost and renewed interest, but his time in AEW ended in disaster. We all remember Brawl Out and the fallout from CM Punk's backstage fight with Jack Perry. The night AEW aired arena security footage of the incident on live TV was another embarrassing low. It came off as petty and amateurish. Another major issue has been AEW's relentless expansion of its TV lineup. Rampage, which debuted in 2021, quickly lost its luster. By like its fourth episode, it no longer felt like must-see television. Collision launched in 2023 and has fared even worse. Recent ratings highlight the problem. During Thanksgiving week, Collision drew just 144,000 viewers, with only 40,000 in the key 18 to 49 demographic. Rampage fared slightly worse, averaging 126,000 viewers. Even Dynamite, once the flagship of AEW's success, hit a record low that week with only 205,000 viewers in the 18 to 49 demo. What's driving viewers away? The answer lies in AEW's horrendous storylines and lack of direction. Tony Khan has hired experienced writers and even brought in a wrestling podcaster as head of continuity. Yet the product keeps getting worse. Injuries and backstage politics are part of the equation, but they don't excuse the consistently poor storytelling. Consider the recent Outsiders Invasion storyline. led by a heel Jon Moxley that no one asked for. Or MJF's baffling heel turn after becoming one of the hottest babyfaces in wrestling. Storylines lack cohesion, with constant heel and face turns that leave fans confused. Up until recently, nearly all AEW's titles were held by heels. They have a serious heel and face identity dilemma. The root cause of AEW's problems is Tony Khan's lack of control. Instead of sticking to a clear vision, he lets talent influence booking decisions, leading to a chaotic and unfocused product. Yes, AEW recently signed a new TV deal, and Warner Bros. Discovery seems happy to use the promotion as cheap filler content. But how sustainable is this model? If live attendance and viewership continue to plummet, TV money alone won't be enough to keep AEW afloat, unless TK is cool with losing hundreds of millions of dollars every year for the rest of his life. If so, that's cool for him, I guess. So where does AEW go from here? If you were in charge of an AEW takeover, what steps would you take to turn this company around? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more pro wrestling noise. Thanks for watching.